Let's find out how to get rich.
Jimmy, how do you feel after this today? Jimmy, you feel like the judge was fair today? Why'd you steal the money, Jimmy?
Now let's be honest here. If we had a chance to steal this much money, and we could get away with it for like, let's say like 2 years, I'm doing it.
Spectacular crimes
This is going to be a huge case, and there's a lot more money that we don't know about.
in a small town.
Shocked. I was shocked. I was so surprised.
A 28-year-old secret Bitcoin billionaire, his private jets, wild parties, and dark secret.
It was just a surreal feeling, and with Jimmy, there were no limits.
This is the story
Yo,
of one
Jimmy, slide a nigga a 20, gang.
of the biggest crypto heists of all time.
He's living this party monster lifestyle and with no visible means of support.
Right.
With clues dating back to the earliest days of Bitcoin itself, in a story that reveals a dark truth about the hackers and coders who created cryptocurrency in the first place.
Huge amount of Bitcoin is leaking out of the system and you have no idea where it's going. Oh, it's a huge question.
And the man who could have gotten away with it, except for one phone call that led to an abrupt end to a nearly decade-long manhunt.
Decade long. This nigga was, he had billions of dollars for a decade. Okay. If there is some way you could steal that much money and be free for 10 years, I'm doing it. I'm sorry. $3 billion? And you're telling me you're not doing that? Come on now, let's be for real. Niggas say money don't make happiness. Cap.
Clark County 911. What is your name, sir?
It's Jimmy Zong, Z-H-O-N-G.
Money does make happiness. I don't care. Money can make me buy things that will make me happy.
They don't get a lot of big-time crime in Athens, Georgia. It's a college town, home to the University of Georgia, so they're used to college town type crimes. Bar fights, break-ins, that kind of thing.
Oh, shit.
Clark County 911.
Hey, I was gone for the past week or so, and someone broke into my house.
And what is your name, sir?
It's Jimmy Zong, Z-H-O-N-G.
W. Ricky.
But this 911 call on the night of March 13th, 2019 is something that Athens has never seen before. On the phone is 28-year-old Jimmy Zong, a hard-partying University of Georgia graduate and former computer science
Wait a second. You're 28 and still partying with college students?
major. He's reporting a massive theft of cryptocurrency from his modest off-campus bungalow.
I'm having a panic attack.
Okay. Do you need an ambulance?
Zong sounds distressed, and a lot of money is missing.
If you had an approximate amount to say the total value was for the money.
Probably
Damn,
close
got
to
his ass.
$400,000.
But Zong is sitting on a lot more money than that. And with this phone call, he's taking a huge risk.
I wouldn't even
because
report
he
it
has
at
a
that
secret
point.
He doesn't want police to
You got
learn.
billions of dollars and you're
Still,
mad over
he
400K?
does want to know who stole from him.
Nah.
And when police can't identify a suspect, Zong calls local private investigator.
Damn, the prime? The prime? The prime? Yo, Lala, thank you so much for the 2-month sub with the prime. Hey, you get a prime sub once a month and you decide to use it on me. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, Lala.
Robin Martinelli to help him figure out who took all that money.
W.
He
Lala.
was very nice and kind, and he had a real problem, so he called me.
He just called you out of the blue?
He did.
Martinelli starts her investigation at the scene of the crime.
So we were able to see that somebody had gotten in a window and they had actually broke in.
Zong said the thief took $400,000 worth of cash and 150 bitcoins, then worth almost $600,000, was stashed behind his chimney.
Ain't
It
gonna
was
lie.
well hidden, and he kept saying
I would've
over
let
and
them take
over
that shit,
there was
for real,
only
for
a
real.
few friends and a few people that knew he kept cash there.
So you put his friends under surveillance?
Most of them, yes.
Okay, there's some shady shit to do. I'd become friends with this nigga just to get it. All right, no. I take that back. That's fucked up. I take that back. But niggas do that shit though.
We went into the bar locations. I think we went to some of the houses, spent a lot of time with Jimmy, went through his house, did some social media investigations, did background checks.
But one question sticks in her mind.
What are you doing with that much cash? And I asked over and over, and he said he had invested it. It made no sense. And I tell just about everybody, before you hire me, I'm married to a cop, my girls are cops.
The private eye scours the tapes from Zong's elaborate home video surveillance systems.
Damn, that shit
We were
HD.
able to see that we thought it was a male, kind of thin, and the person knew exactly where to go. Like, was kind of dodging where the camera might be.
So you thought this might be a person who's been here before?
Correct, yes.
So
Yes, sir.
maybe it's a friend of Jimmy's, someone who's
Maybe it's a
worked for
friend
him.
that told
To
somebody else
Martinelli,
to get the
it
money and they
seems
split it
Zong
50-50.
doesn't have many true friends, other than his dog, Chad.
So who were his friends? Who was he hanging out with?
Low key, with that much money, you don't have true friends no more, for real, for real. I ain't gonna lie.
I remember a female, a
At least
couple
in my-
of
at least in
males,
my thought
just about
process.
his age that were just ne'er-do-wells. Very casual, plastic,
Relatable dog
not
friends.
really caring.
I want a dog.
Maybe
need a
using
friend.
Jimmy a little bit. Maybe
They were using him?
I don't know if they really cared about Jimmy.
Type shit.
Yeah. Did he
I
know
don't-
that?
I don't think he knew that or wanted to know that. Jimmy wanted to be loved, or Jimmy wanted friends. Jimmy was a good guy.
Type shit.
Go back a few
I
years,
get that.
and a lot of people in Athens think Zong is a good guy. He's throwing a lot of money around. In addition to his bungalow in Athens, he buys himself a home on nearby Lake Lanier. He buys a boat
Ooh.
and jet skis and expensive cars.
He was a few years older than us, and he just loved to party.
Stefana Masick goes to a lot of those parties. She met Zong while she was a student at the University of Georgia.
He would buy me and my friends drinks, and then there were multiple times too where he would buy shots for everyone at the bars.
He would buy shots for every single-
Everybody?
Yeah.
I mean, like 100 people.
Wait, I didn't even. Wait, was there a crazy name, Lala, about the lake?
Yeah, pretty much. I remember he lent me some money that I needed, and then there was never that expectation that I had to pay
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Nah.
it back. When he was a friend to you, he was a very generous friend. I would say I came to
Linear?
really enjoy having Jimmy as a friend in my
Oh,
life.
that's you, Lala. That's your
In
lake.
2018, when Zong's beloved Georgia Bulldogs make it to the Rose Bowl, he gathers up his party friends, rents a private jet, and takes the whole gang to Los Angeles.
We all flew private, and
that's sick.
Jimmy rented a really nice Airbnb, and he got everyone really nice tickets to the game also.
I ain't gonna lie, I would be this friend too if I had this much money, for real. All the homies is eating, for real. I ain't gonna lie.
Ended up giving everyone a budget, and that was very unexpected, you know, just having a friend giving all his friends that came with him on the trip money to just purchase items on Rodeo Drive. So it was kind of like, am I dreaming, you know? Like, it was a very
shit.
crazy moment.
I was told it was $10,000 each. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. It was a number like that.
So what did everybody buy?
Everyone went to the Cartier
Damn, what
store
did she
first,
buy?
and
Yo.
then
Are y'all spending 10K in a day? Actually, I could do it. I could definitely do it. I would change my whole PC setup. That's at least like 5K right there. For real, for real. Nah, yeah, no, I could go through 10K a day. I'm getting Chipotle. Yep. I'm getting... You know what? I'll think about this.
just bought a lot of purses, belts, jewelry.
I don't care about, like, clothes and
coats,
shit like
stuff
that, for real.
It was pretty wild. I mean, that doesn't happen every day.
More than a year after the Rodeo Drive shopping spree, Athens police are trying to find out who stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from Zong's house. Lieutenant Jody Thompson of the Athens-Clarke County Police Department leads the local property and financial crimes unit. He says Zong has an elaborate security system, cameras bristling at the door and on the roof of his home. And whenever there's a crime, Zong is happy to share video evidence with Athens PD.
So we would have break-ins, we would have DUIs, you would have accidents.
And Jimmy was always there to help you guys out.
Always, always.
And y'all
But
still
Zong
arrested
also
him?
has a
Bro, let
criminal
him keep the
history
money.
of his own, including a DUI and a bizarre incident a few years earlier.
So Jimmy was in a restaurant talking to some girls, and he happens to mention that he has $30,000 worth of blow at his house if they want to come back and party.
$30,000 worth of coke.
$30,000 of cocaine.
Okay, that's insane.
Unfortunately for Jimmy, there was an off-duty police officer sitting in the restaurant one table over.
Damn.
That's just bad timing.
It was really bad timing. So with a quick phone call, there was other officers who arrived.
That's
and he was
fucked up.
arrested.
Let the
Actually
nigga
found
live.
Some drugs on him.
Actually,
and he got a couple
when it's involving women, actually don't let that nigga live. Yeah. Maybe not.
felony charges from that.
So he's drunk and
No
disorderly.
cap, Kodak.
He's busted for coke possession. He's bragging to girls in bars. I mean, the guy sounds like his life was a little bit out of control.
I think it was. I think Jimmy was always looking for more. He was looking for a friend. I think a lot of people took advantage of that. And I feel bad for him on that because he was so naive.
Zong says he spent a significant portion of his wealth partying.
Jimmy, admittedly, I've spoken to him a few times since, probably spent about $500,000 just in partying downtown.
$500,000 in bar tabs?
That's what he estimated, yes. He
Half
said he
a
spent lot of
mil?
money having a good time.
He's living this party monster lifestyle.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, if I had this much money, hey, I'm putting my tab down and I'm just letting that bitch go up. I can't lie. So I get it.
And with no visible means of support.
Right. And he said he just invested in Bitcoin and made his money. And, you know.
And you had no reason to doubt that.
No reason to doubt it.
But that changes when the police investigator gets a call from agents at the IRS. Across the country, a crack team of IRS criminal investigators specializing in cryptocurrency has spent years tracking the 2012 hack of a criminal dark web marketplace called the Silk Road. Someone stole 50,000 bitcoins from the drug dealers, gun runners, and pornographers who used that site. As the price of the bitcoins explodes over the next years, the value of that astonishing heist climbs to more than $3 billion.
Damn!
They asked me about the Bitcoin and how much was in there and if he talked about where he got it from or anything like that. And I really didn't have the answers for him. But I told him, let me email him, and I'm sure Jimmy will meet with us.
Zong quickly agrees to meet the agents. And when they arrive at his lakefront home, Thompson's body camera is rolling.
Hey, Jimmy. How are you? Hey, you remember me?
The agents go inside Zong's bizarre world and learn more about who they're dealing with.
I mean, I've always been on the computer guy. I've always been just that kind of thing.
Oh, Jimmy, I would not be laughing.
In Athens, Georgia, someone has stolen hundreds of thousands of dollars in cryptocurrency from local party boy Jimmy Zong. But investigators who looked into that crime get a call out of the blue from armed federal agents of the IRS.
Typically when we deal with larger enforcement agencies, we don't ask a lot of questions about their investigation.
Thompson suddenly finds himself going to Zong's home with two highly skilled cryptocurrency investigators, a federal agent and a contractor working for the U.S. government.
Hey, Jimmy.
My name is Trevor McLean. I'm a special agent with IRS Criminal Investigation.
That
My name is Sean Magruder. I am the founder and CEO of BlockTrace.
BlockTrace is a company that investigates cryptocurrencies on the blockchain. The IRS hired Magruder for his experience untangling complicated transactions. He's been looking into a massive heist from a dark website called the Silk Road for years.
Well, Silk Road is a very unique marketplace, right? Where users could deposit Bitcoins on this exchanger, so to speak, and where they could then purchase goods, services, cocaine, weapons.
All the bad guy stuff.
All the bad guy stuff, right.
And people thought this was a private transaction and they could just get away with it.
They thought that. So the beautiful thing about the blockchain is that all transactions are preserved going back to 2009 when Bitcoin was first launched.
God
so all those criminals were just dead wrong. It wasn't private.
It wasn't private, right? It wasn't private at all.
In 2012, somebody steals 50,000 Bitcoins from that criminal exchange, and federal agents begin to try to figure out who done it. A lead in the case doesn't come until 6 years later, when Magruder finds a clue that points to Zong.
One of the special agents who I worked with on the team calls me and says, hey, Sean, can you help out and assist with this? If you could just take a look at it, over the course of the weekend, that'd be great. And this was on a Friday. By Monday, I came back with an answer and said, hey, I think we might have something here. And so we noticed some activity that was standing out to us.
What was it?
What was it? Great question. good question.
Are you allowed to say?
Answer the fucking
That
question.
is a sort of sensitive
Oh
law
my.
enforcement technique.
You can't talk about it publicly.
Not that specific technique.
But you realize that there were some clues here that you would be able to follow.
Right, absolutely.
And then Zong makes a big mistake with a relatively small amount of money. Zong transfers around $800 worth of Bitcoin to an exchange that has a policy called Know Your Customer, which is referred to as KYC. The policy requires anyone who sends or buys cryptocurrency from the exchange to provide their name and identifying information.
No, that's not good.
So after issuing a subpoena to that KYC exchange, we had a positive ID on Jimmy.
Because of the subpoena, the exchange has to tell you the name of the person.
That's correct.
And did he use his real name?
He did.
I would use a fake name
Investigators
for
follow
real.
that trail of clues right to Zong's home. The three men come up with a plan to go see Zong, telling him they're there to investigate the crime against him, never mentioning they're also there to investigate something else, a much bigger crime.
I don't
And
know.
this
If
never
you're
before
if you're
seen
if you're
police
Jimmy,
body
you got all this money, you gotta be more cautious about niggas knowing like talking to you and stuff about stuff like this. I don't know. I'd be very more cautious about my words. Honestly, I wouldn't even told the police anything. I would have figured out who stole my money myself, for real.
cam video shows the moment in real
Maybe hire a
time.
private investigator.
Zong, without hesitation, lets the investigators right in.
Make them niggas sign an NDA.
This is Trevor and Sean. We're going to be with you.
We went to the door under the premise that these two guys, Sean and Trevor, were going to be assisting me with the investigation into recovering his Bitcoin that was stolen.
Yeah, these guys are going to kind of help me out a little bit because we've been getting more of the cases kind of like what you have. Really? And
You know, watching that tape, it's almost like he was just desperate for someone to talk to.
I think that might be another side of Jimmy that no one really knew about too, is the loneliness of being that wealthy and not having anybody to share it with.
And you guys walk in the door and start talking to him, and here he opens up.
He did.
You guys get this solved. I'm going to invite y'all up for a beer whenever y'all want. All right.
I kept, again, complimenting his house.
This is so beautiful.
Talk about his dog.
Beautiful dog.
Anything we could do to keep him talking. And as he become more and more comfortable, eventually I asked Jimmy, show us around.
Yeah.
Let's see the whole house.
He'll show us. You can see the baby lake server. Yeah.
There's an L-shaped couch. There's slider doors to the right.
This man Jimmy is dressed like a dad that has a kid in a fraternity.
And there's a TV on the wall. There's what appears to be a firearm of some sort over the slider door, which we would later learn was a flamethrower.
You got a flamethrower in the house?
Did have a
He got a
flamethrower.
flamethrower.
Are you doing your own floors? Huh? Are you doing tile work? That's leftover from.
This is the concrete tile?
You do this job for a while and you notice things in homes and you think, I could hide something there.
So were you looking for secret compartments as you went around the house?
Yes.
Dangerous bad man?
It's just kind of the part of the
Bad man.
process.
Yeah, come up to the office.
What up, JP?
We went upstairs, and on my way to the room, all three of us, along, with the Athens PD and
Nice ass
and
crib.
RSCI, we saw the AR-15 on the wall.
You got the AR-15 against the wall? Yeah, it looks beautiful, man.
Flamethrower is
When you see
insane.
the
though.
AR-15 in the house, do you feel like this guy could be dangerous?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, if you see an AR-15 with a magazine in it hanging on the wall, not in any way, shape, or form locked or bolted, and ready to go, I mean, that poses a security threat.
Armed or not, they have to get Zong talking.
Okay, so I guess
Spit it out, nigga,
kind of a
damn.
personal question is, how did you acquire the money? What? I don't even know what you do, Jimmy.
I mean, I'm in these days. I'm in real estate development. I'm the funding.
Zong shows the investigators a suitcase he used to store $1 million in cash.
Oh, that's just
Exact
dumb.
case.
That's just dumb. You're at
Is that a
work?
zero
What the fuck you do for
helper, or
work?
is that a
That's just
same
some
style?
random Amazon case.
Okay.
You know, I was trying to
Yeah.
impress this girl back then. So I was like, let's
Yeah.
You're pressing us
let's
too,
try to
like-
pull out $1 million cash and have it as this aluminum briefcase and just like, you know, I was
Well.
trying to impress her back then.
Did it work?
Nope.
That never does. Never does.
We eventually went downstairs, saw they had like a party pad built with a stripper pole in the middle and a full bar.
Is this your workout? Nope, that's for the girls. Okay. Nice.
You don't see that too often.
You don't see that very often at all. But in behind that bar was a whole nother room of computer servers that he had built out.
So I ran Cat 6 everywhere.
Well, that was a good opportunity.
That's awesome.
And fiber.
That's amazing.
Hey, niggas with computer servers in their crib, them niggas are dangerous.
Wow.
Next, they ask Zong about his history with Bitcoin, and Zong reveals his involvement with crypto goes all the way back to 2009, which is the same year Bitcoin was first launched.
When did you first dive in?
Huh?
When did you first?
Probably like 2009 or?
Investigators begin to see Zong's level of sophistication.
This is like so foreign to me.
Dedicated Bitcoin mining chips. Those two big black guys.
Oh, wow. Oh, I was thinking
Those two big black guys. Oh no, this nigga's a freak.
chips. I wasn't thinking.
What
No,
the
I mean,
fuck, Jimmy?
The individual chips have to be assembled into something.
Jimmy, I'm not gonna
They can-
lie. You're showing these niggas a little bit too much. All right. Now you know with law enforcement, them niggas got ulterior motives always. They're always looking for something else, something to incriminate you, right? So maybe don't show them every single thing that you do with Bitcoin. Yeah, like he's asking to go to jail. I ain't gonna lie.
Continue to probe, getting Zong to explain his security system.
It's like 30 seconds, regular sirens goes off.
So did you do that?
40 seconds, that goes off.
Wow.
And that will make your head pound.
But the most important thing is they have to get Zong to open his laptop.
Oh, yeah.
Them niggas' feet is, bro, his feet is dirty as hell. I know they are.
Look away, because this is going to be my password.
Okay.
I'm just watching. It's like you're typing a sentence over there.
Oh, wait, that's why.
So is this like the equivalent of your hot wallet, where you say you have
Yeah,
1,500?
this
Like this
is
is your play money.
This is the hot wallet, and then the cold wallet is, I'm not going to tell you where it is. See, that's on camera. I don't even know
Oh, no.
if that leaks around the department or
No,
something.
no.
I don't.
Investigators see the evidence they need when he opens the laptop, a wallet filled with an enormous number of Bitcoins.
So in the day of the video that we see, you walk out of the house, the three of you are leaving.
Jimmy.
You see you go out.
Did
the
you wanna
driveway.
get
What are
caught,
you thinking
bro?
The moment you walk out that door.
This is incredible. I think we found our guy.
Jimmy, pleasure to meet you, man.
No problem.
It's just money for real. Let the nigga have it. He ain't hurt nobody.
After the house tour, the federal agents decide they have enough. Evidence ties Zong to the 2012 Silk Road hack. It's all about to come crashing down for Zong. And it's all because he called 911 to report that someone had stolen some of his stolen loot.
If he hadn't done that,
He'd
would
be
he still be
chilling.
living large in private jets?
I believe he would.
He's sitting on
He'd be
what
chilling.
would be $3 billion worth of stolen assets. And he calls the cops to report a theft of just a fraction of that. Who
Bro,
does that?
if you had $3 billion, I ain't calling y'all for shit. Matter of fact, I'll go buy a new crib. What? Yo, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
As they dig into Zong's story, agents begin to suspect that Zong's skills are proof that he's more than just a typical hacker.
You don't have to answer it. Like how OG are you?
I don't have vast majority of them anymore, but I mined at least 300,000.
Wow.
Blew them all downtown drinking in Athens.
Over the years, the Bitcoin stolen from the Silk Road dark website in 2012 has skyrocketed in value to $3.36 billion. Investigators hunting for the hacker use a ruse to get into Jimmy Zong's home and get him to open his laptop.
Yeah.
But you don't even have just like one Bitcoin laying around?
Oh, I mean, 1,500 on that laptop alone.
Oh, serious?
When you're sitting next to him on the couch, he opens his laptop. What do you see on that screen?
Lo and behold, he had 60 or 70 million dollars worth of Bitcoins right there next to us.
God
So with
damn.
one glance at the screen on his laptop, you could instantly
Bro, Jimmy, if you didn't say anything, bro, you would be not in jail right now. You'd be chilling.
tell
Jimmy.
this is a guy who's a credible suspect. He could have pulled this off.
That's right.
No cameras are rolling the day investigators return to Zong's house to execute a search warrant for the 50,000 stolen Bitcoins. But it's a huge law enforcement operation. And one thing is critical for the mission's success. They have to get inside Zong's laptop.
When I did the search warrant briefings, with all the agents out of the Atlanta field office, it's a hard sell to say, hey, we're going to hit someone's house tomorrow, multiple locations. Oh, by the way, you may or may not be familiar with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, but there's a chance that this person sits on somewhere around 3 billion in cryptocurrency, 50,000 Bitcoin. And you kind of get this look of like, is this guy from another planet?
God damn,
We
dead
met
ass
at
Madison?
a parking lot where I
Holy.
saw a lot of law enforcement, and I was like, oh, okay, I see what we're doing now. We're going to be doing a search warrant today.
After we had that rehearsal of how the search warrant would go, me, the original Athens PD detective, and 2 special agents visit Jimmy.
They tell Zong that in order to help with his stolen Bitcoin case, they needed to verify information on his computer.
So you go in and it's still under the pretext that you're there to help him.
That's right.
I brought
Damn, these
Chad.
niggas lie straight to his face, bro. Let him have the money.
A dog toy to play with to keep him pacified, make sure that he was out of the harm's way. And we entered Jimmy's house.
McLeenan is about to finally tell Zong the truth. Investigators are not there to help solve the crime against him. They're there to search his house for evidence of the $3 billion heist.
We started doing our thing and walking
Bro,
through the
I'm telling
transaction.
you, bro. Let's think about this logically, bro. You have $400,000 stolen from you, right? Out of $3 billion. I'm not reporting that. I'm gonna go get my get back. I'm gonna just find out who it is myself. Hire a private investigator, make that nigga sign a disclosure agreement to where, you know what I'm saying, he can't say shit about what happened, right? Get your bread back. I don't know. This seems so simple to me. I don't know. I don't know, bro.
You know, getting him to open up his computer.
So you have to have that computer open, unlocked, passwords
No need,
entered,
bro.
and then Jimmy physically away from it so you can grab it.
Bro,
before
if
it-
he never made that 911 call, he would be chilling scot-free. He'd be chilling on a private jet, bro. Like, this just actually making me kind of mad. Because, like, I would never do this.
It locks itself.
That was the goal. And I started to draw Jimmy's attention away from his laptop. I asked him if we could take a look on his back balcony over the lake.
So he asks Zong to step across the room and help open the sticky sliding glass door.
Jimmy got up, started walking to the slider glass, and my co-case stuck what's called a jiggler in the computer, which causes the mouse to move around the screen so that it doesn't lock. We stepped outside. My co-case came outside on the patio with us. And just like in movie circumstances, you know, Jimmy's sitting on the back porch. We're like, oh, this is an amazing view. And Jimmy's looking at me, and I said, Jimmy,
Niggas be lying straight to your face.
you know me as Trevor.
You can't trust
I'm actually
nobody.
Trevor McLean, a special agent with IRS Criminal Investigation, and we're here to execute a federal approved warrant on your house. And he kind of had this look like, am I being punked?
Right.
It's at that point where literally in movie time, the search warrant team hit the house, pounding on the door, police with a warrant, flooded the house, and you could see the panic start to ensue in his mind.
So that's the first moment where it flipped for him.
Yeah.
And you were able to take advantage of that one.
You can't be this naive, bro. I'm sorry. That's what I'm saying, Madison. That's not even 1% of your total, like, of all your bread, bro. Like, this shit is hurting me, bro. You know what I would do with $3 billion? Oh my, yo, bro.
Minute where he was away from the
This shit
computer.
is actually making me upset.
Grab it and keep it open.
Yep.
Officers swarmed through the house looking for evidence. Zong's neighbor, Walt Frazier, was there the day it happened.
I didn't know what to think. I mean, I'd never seen that many police anywhere in my walk of life, and then they're all in my front yard, and I went, holy cow.
Upstairs in the bathroom closet, off to the side of the roof, was in fact a popcorn tin. And in that popcorn tin were some towels, which starts to draw your interest as to why you would possess a popcorn tin with towels in it. So then one of the searchers started pulling apart the different towels and found the single board computer. Later, we were able to discern with Jimmy's assistance that possessed a ton of the Bitcoin.
Millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars.
Using a dog specifically trained to sniff for computer hardware, they find a safe.
That's a
buried in
thing? You can have a dog sniff for computer. Yo, that's kind of crazy. Them niggas are advanced.
Concrete underneath
I'd
some
be set for
basement
life,
flooring
bro.
tile.
I'm telling you.
And that safe.
I don't, bro. This would be like this whole thing. Someone stealing $400,000 away from me, bro. That would be a minor inconvenience in my life. I would not give a fuck. My nigga, I would go buy another house that same day. That, like, come on. What is this nigga doing?
If we found Bitcoin,
I did not know that,
found a
Madison.
wallet that had the
Good for
addresses
dogs. Dogs are so
that were
good.
associated with the 50,000.
They also find physical bitcoins that were minted in cryptocurrency's early years, precious metals, and old-fashioned paper currency.
November 9, really late at night, we were able to say we were successful. We found the evidence that we were looking for, and
I hate how stone cold this nigga is. It's like actually bothering me. Fuck the IRS, bro.
the house lit up. I mean, every agent on site cheered.
After the cheering dies down, investigators...
Bro, why are y'all niggas cheering? Y'all, none of y'all are getting that 300 billion or that 3 billion. Wait, are they? Wait. If they make a bust like this, do they get some of the money from it, or how does that work?
also realized that Zhang was more than an ordinary criminal hacker. The IRS concluded that Zhang was what's known as a Bitcoin OG, slang for original gangster, one of the early developers who drove the rise of cryptocurrency.
If they can't get any money off of it, why are niggas cheering? Like, let's be for real.
So he contributed to the code. He would constantly offer up suggestions on how to improve it.
But Zhang said it wasn't his coding skills that allowed him to steal the Bitcoin from the Silk Road. In his plea statement, Zhang said he stumbled across the flaw accidentally.
In his statement, Jimmy says that the way he stole these Bitcoin was he was withdrawing some assets from Silk Road. He had been using it to purchase cocaine, and he realized if he simply double-clicked, he could withdraw more than he had put in. Is that what happened?
To the instance that he would just double-click the withdraw button, we don't know the answer to that question.
I mean, that seems awfully simple.
Yeah. But what gets a little...
We don't know the answer to that question. I hate this nigga!
A bit more complicated is what we were able to discern with monikers that Jimmy had used, that he knew exactly how much was in the hot wallet of the Silk Road in September of 2012. So in that instance, he knew when he stole 50,000 Bitcoin from the Silk Road, he knew exactly what the max was that he could get away with.
And he hit that max?
Yeah.
Zhang says his skills also impressed somebody else, Ross Ulbricht, the man who created the Silk Road site that Zhang attacked. Online, Ulbricht went by the moniker Dread Pirate Roberts, and according to Zhang, Ulbricht agreed to simply give Zhang the Bitcoins he stole plus 5,000 more as a reward.
Jimmy and the Dread Pirate Roberts were in contact with each other, right?
That's what Jimmy alleges it. We couldn't find any evidence to support that position.
Why would the Dread Pirate Roberts pay Jimmy a reward for stealing from the Dread Pirate Roberts? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Our understanding was that that was in response to helping him fix an error with the Silk Road payment processing system.
So the idea is that Jimmy exposed a flaw and exploited it to steal the money, and then he sort of sold that flaw back to the Dread Pirate Roberts and said, I'll explain to you how I did it if you let me keep the money.
Ooh.
Court documents
That's smart.
state after the hack, Zhang used
Jimmy smart for
sophisticated
something.
laundering
Shit.
techniques to use stolen Bitcoin for lavish trips and real estate investments.
So he took advantage of Bitcoin mixing services out there that would mix, his transactions with other people's transactions and then come out the other end, right? Where they would be clean, so to speak.
Oh, this nigga's smart
In
as
the
hell.
end, though, Zhang didn't get to keep the money. After the U.S. government confiscated the assets, victims had the opportunity to come forward and claim their Bitcoin, but nobody did, which isn't surprising given that the Silk Road was an exchange for criminal activity and the feds sold off Zhang's Bitcoin. Tyler Hatcher is the special agent in charge of the Los Angeles
They
field.
sold it off? Bro, I'm sorry. If I'm in the IRS, I'm taking some bread from that. I don't care if I get caught. I'm going to try to take some bread from that. $3 billion and y'all sell it off? Yo, what the like, this whole story is pissing me off.
Office for IRS criminal investigation.
So Jimmy stole the money, but the U.S. government is going to get to keep it.
Correct.
There's some irony there, right?
There is some irony there, yeah.
When you think about this case, you had a hacker stealing from the Silk
just
Road,
sad.
and the clients of the Silk Road
$3
were
billion
just
back to the
awful
government?
people, right?
Bro, this shit is so stupid. Limsky,
I mean, you had drug dealers, gun runners, all kinds of bad guys on there.
The victim here is another set of criminals. So it's hard to have sympathy for anybody involved in that case. How do you approach a case like that?
You know, there's that saying, there's no honor among thieves, right? So when we
Probably.
talk about illicit funds that are out there, the last thing we want is any criminal being able to spend it, right? That's why we have jobs. That's why we look for these.
Bro, Jimmy wasn't even doing shit for real. Like, maybe he bought some drugs, but like, these things act like they all peaches and cream. Come on now. All he was doing was private jets, drinking a lot, and he had a lake house and some cars. He ain't hurting nobody, bro. Let the nigga keep his money. Oh my gosh.
Opportunities.
Hatcher says some of it will likely go to the local police department in Athens.
The government certainly has not been hurt by Jimmy's conduct whatsoever.
Michael Bachner is Zong's attorney for this case.
If Jimmy had not stolen the coins and the government had, in fact, seized them from Ulbrecht, they would have sold them 2 years later in 2014, as they did with other coins, and would have gotten $320 a coin, or made somewhere about $14 million. Now, as a result of Jimmy having them, the government has gotten a $3 billion profit.
Bachner says at the time Zong
The government does not need. Fuck the government, bro!
Stole the coins, he did not believe he was committing a federal crime.
Bitcoin back then was very much like the Wild West. The coins had sometimes no value, or such a fluctuating value.
At sentencing, Bachner described the abuse Zong faced from the other kids at school.
He's on the spectrum for autism. He was subject to consistent.
All my nigga wanted was some friends, bro. He wanted friends. He got money. He was like, shit, I can buy some friends. That's all that nigga wanted to do.
Unabated
That $3 billion could have went to homeless people, bro. Fuck them niggas.
abuse, which included
World hunger, cancer research. I don't know. Man, fuck the government.
randomly.
You ain't see one black person in this whole video, have you? Only person of color is fucking Jimmy, and he's the victim. I don't care. He's not a criminal. That nigga's a victim.
Being punched in the face for no reason. He would go to school, do very well in school because he was really smart, and then go home, lock himself in his room or go to his room and be on.
Rich old white people. This is what they do. They take money from others so they can get richer.
On his computer.
Nathaniel
Hey, but let me not talk too much. I might get taken out.
Popper
You know what I'm
is
saying?
the author of Digital Gold, which
Let me shut the
chronicles
hell
the
up.
history of Bitcoin. He says a hacker culture ran through the early Bitcoin community.
You have to see if you can break the system to figure out how it doesn't work. So when the system broke, it was viewed
Broke
as
out a
an
felony for stealing from
opportunity
criminals and
to
vibing?
learn from it.
Bro, he stole from criminals, exactly. And he was just chilling. Like, Bitcoin for pizzas is crazy.
Figure out how can we strengthen this for the future.
That's so
if we want this to work in the long run, we need to repair the little leaks in it. There's this strange way in the Bitcoin story where everybody who played a significant role is both a villain and a hero at the same time. And that conflict, that tension is there in Silk Road, and I think it's also there in Jimmy's story.
Zong pled guilty to 1 count of wire fraud. No friends or family were present for Zong's sentencing, but he received a half-dozen letters
Dead ass? This nigga had nobody in his Senate? Okay, yeah, that's fucked.
of support from friends, one of whom said, "My heart goes out to Jimmy because all he wants in this life is to love others and for others to love him." In a tearful statement, Zong said the Bitcoin made him feel important and worth something and asked for no jail time so he could take care of his closest remaining friend, his dog, Chad.
Chad and Jimmy have an extremely close, loving relationship. Chad is 13 years old now and sick, has a feeding tube, and Jimmy spends time and effort caring for him.
I think he was stuck. He didn't talk to his family that I knew of. So I don't know.
How the fuck y'all niggas don't tell him how he feels? Man!
Anybody he'd been close to but his dog, Chad.
His dog.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. His dog, Chad.
I think he just wanted to have a lot of fun and maybe outsmart having a traditional life.
This thing of Jimmy did not like wearing socks. Did y'all notice that? This man never got socks
On
on.
April 14th, the verdict came down. We waited outside the courtroom during Zong's 2-hour sentencing,
Here comes.
in which he received a year and a day in prison for his role in the Silk Road hack.
Jimmy, how do you feel after this?
A year is
today?
not that bad.
Why'd you steal the money, Jimmy? Did you think you were going to get away with it?
Yo. Niggas only care about you when you're down, for real. Niggas only care about a news story when you're going down, for real.
Anything else to say, Jimmy?
Bro. That shit crazy. Niggas only give a fuck when you're down bad. Damn, so the nigga who stole the Bitcoin he's still up 400K. Shit. At large, he stole Bitcoin. Is that crazy? Chad is staying with a friend. If you don't let this nigga take care of his dying dog, bro,